Via Climate Defiance, a youth-led movement raising the alarm on the need to limit fossil fuels, protesters halted the Congressional baseball game.
Excuse me, press.
The cop reacted by brutalizing the protesters, as displayed here in another video. In all, 8 members would be booked into jail. All of this reportedly went down in the second inning of the game. So look, there's a lot to get to. First, let's start from reporting with the Washington Post. Clarence Williams, no injuries were reported. The planned interruption, he writes, which the climate group Climate Defiance announced on social media, ended quite quickly after demonstrators descended the fence along the left field line, according to video released by the group. Climate Defiance, which opposes fossil fuels, has disrupted meetings, speeches, and events with Democratic leaders to bring attention to the climate crises. Authorities charged the demonstrators with interference with a member of the U.S. Capitol Police, officials would say on Twitter. ABC would then add more to the reporting. 2 different groups of protesters interrupted the Congressional baseball game, the annual charity game in which Republicans absolutely crushed the Dems for the 4th year in a row, and they put up 31 runs. I mean, that is just absurd. During the second inning, over half a dozen protesters hopped the fence wearing shirts stating, and I quote, "End fossil fuels." Chants from the crowd of USA drowned out the protesters. Let's just stop here for a second and take that part in. There are protesters who are trying to ring the alarm that it's only going to get worse, and the climate catastrophes are going to multiply. And then we also have scientists like Peter Kalmus, who will do demonstrations like handcuffing himself with another voluntary scientist outside of a bank, because the banks are fueling a lot of this as well, and saying we need to do something. I don't believe you guys understand how bad it is and how it is going to be irreversible. And yet when protesters try to put forth the message, the American audience can only chant USA as the cops beat up the protesters. Strangely American and completely depressing. Why chant USA? Why? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. In the aftermath of the events that took place, Climate Defiance wrote, Congress sends billions of public money to subsidize deadly fossil fuels, but the police are tackling us instead. This Chevron-sponsored game cannot continue. This is unconscionable. I mean, the fact that it's sponsored by Chevron says a lot. We are not here to watch Congress play games while the planet burns to ash and subsidies add fuel to the fire. We are here to disrupt and shut down fossil-fueled business as usual. Donate to help keep us up with crucial work. They'd put all this in a separate article, which linked to chuff.org. They're asking for donations for the following: legal fees, action costs, and transit. Via CBS, among those playing for the GOP, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who was actually shot in 2017 at a congressional baseball practice, yet he still really wants everybody to have a firearm. Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa, Senator Eric Schmidt among the Dems, Pete Aguilar, Senator Alex Padilla, and Representative Ruben Gallego. This game is an important kind of illustration of what's wrong with our politics and our political elite that's destroying our planet, said one of the group's organizers, Evan Drucker-Schartel. We're not going to let this celebration of corporate political corruption go unchallenged. It's a tight-knit club in Washington, and the people left out are all of us who are facing global catastrophe, Drucker-Schartel would go on to say. It's unconscionable that most members of Congress are focused more on enriching their corporate lobbyist friends than they are on saving us from rising sea levels and rising temperatures. This is all accurate. It's all true. And yet, for some reason, a majority of the crowd there did not buy into it, and they cheered on the brutalization. It says so much about where we are and how far we still have to go if one were to even have that sense of optimism for the near future. The Hill would contribute. The challenge also comes nearly 2 years after another group led a protest at the game in the year 2022, which took place amidst Senate negotiations over climate provisions in the Inflation Reduction Act. That protest, organized by Now or Never, did not appear to affect the game, which instead suffered a 30-minute delay in the fourth inning due to rain. At least 3 individuals were arrested for unlawful entry after blocking one of the park entrances. So I suppose we end with this, because this goes back to so many in this country, and I would say this is a lot of centrist liberals all the way to far-right conservatives. What is the correct way to protest in their eyes? I know a lot of us are, accepting, but to them it is not acceptable. It's only on their time, on their dime, on their watch. This is a part of living in the country, is that even if it is to some a nuisance, even if you feel as though it is not needed, and even if it impedes your congressional baseball game, which I hope you did not pay to get into, but if you did, because I know they said it was for charity, but let's be honest, the millions that they are raking in, they could give some of that campaign contributions back to charity. However, what is the correct way? These are fearless people who are, let's be real, the way that they were getting beat up, risking their lives, their physical health if they get slammed to the ground, their mental health by being in what the group called very small jail cells. How would you prefer they do it? Because to me, this is effective. Even if you don't like it, it's effective. It reached a lot of people. They accomplished their goal by the Washington Post, NBC, ABC, and a plethora of news outlets reporting on this. This is, my view, what protest is. It is not supposed to be fluffy. It is not supposed to be comforting. It is not supposed to be business as usual. It is a hard break in the action to bring awareness to something that is very important and crucial to not just our lives, but the next generation's lives and the generation after that. But for some reason, and I will tell you this in full transparency, and it really gets to me, whenever we talk about climate, the views go down. People just don't care. And I suppose the second question I have for you is, when will you?